Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to make some char cloth. If you don't know what char cloth is, it's essentially a piece of cloth that's been charred by fire that takes a spark very easy. Makes for a great tinder for a fire, and it's really easy to make, and it's something that you can easily keep on you when you're out in the field anytime you need to have a fire. And it works really well, especially if you've got wet conditions and you can't find dry tinder. Char cloth is a great thing to have. So here's what you're going to need. Alright, so to start off, you're going to need a t-shirt of some kind, just an old t-shirt or anything like that. When you're out in the field, you can actually use a piece of your own t-shirt or your pants or anything like that, in a survival situation to create some char cloth. But I've just brought just an old junk t-shirt out here today. So a t-shirt for some type of cloth. You're going to need a tin of some type. You can use various different tins. I like to use these right here. These are actually a candle tin that a lot of companies use for promotional products. They give these out all the time. You can pick them out at just about any business, or you can pick them up at like Dollar General or anywhere that sells cheap candles. They've probably got some of these. We had 6 or 7 of these things laying around the house from my wife and her candle addictions. So I decided to just take one of these, melt all the wax out of it, and then just pour it out and use it as a char container. So essentially what you're going to do is poke a hole in the top. So you'll need a nail or something, a knife or some sort to poke a hole in the top. And what that's going to do is allow airflow to get in, and it's actually going to catch the cloth on fire inside of the tin and allow the proper airflow for it to char it properly. Basically, you've got your tin, you've got your nail, and you poke your hole through it, and that's all you need there. At this point, you want to rip off a piece of cloth about this size, and you're just going to stuff it down in the tin. Alright, so what you're going to do at this point is just simply take your tin and set it right in your fire. And it's going to take maybe 2 to 3 minutes at most. It doesn't take very long at all. So you're just going to let that sit. It's going to start flaming out of the hole, and that's exactly what you want. Once that's coming out of the hole, you know that it's charring the cloth, and it's only going to be a matter of time before you've got some in your hands. Alright, so you've got your char cloth on the fire, and it's been a couple of minutes, so now you're ready to take it off the fire. So let's show you how to cool it down. What you want to do is take a knife or a stick and just knock it off the fire. It's obviously too hot to touch. It's shooting flames out of the top, as you can see. What you want to do is just basically blow that out, and it's going to start to cool down. So what you want to do, being it's too hot to touch, you want to take it and dig a little hole right here in the ground. And then you're just going to knock this over into that hole and bury it with dirt. And it actually takes less time to cool down than it does to heat up and actually char the cloth. So you're just going to completely cover the whole thing in dirt, and it takes literally like 45 seconds to 1 minute for this thing to cool off to where it's easy enough to touch. So we're just going to let that sit for just a second, and then we're going to open it up. So literally that's all the amount of time that it took for this thing to cool. It's still warm, a little bit warm, but it's perfectly fine to handle at this point. So all you got to do, take it out, dump it out, and then you've got a whole piece of char cloth. Now, something to keep in mind is this stuff is very fragile. It's very, very easy to tear apart. You just pick it apart. So basically, this stuff is charred to the point to where if you just throw a simple spark right on this, it's going to ignite back up, and then you can use it to ignite a tinder bundle. And I mean it when I say it's very simple. It takes one spark that hits this, and it's just going to catch right back up. Alright, so I've taken just this little tiny twig that was on the fire that is still got a little bit of a coal to it, and I'm just going to take it and rake it across this. And as you can see, one of the embers right there already start burning a hole straight through the char cloth. Alright guys, so that's how you make char cloth. I really hope you liked the video. Like I said, it's a really simple thing to make. You know, people use dryer lint, they use wax impregnated cotton balls. You know, there's tons of different fire starters that you can make. Char cloth's just one of them, and it works incredibly well. It's taking something that's already charred that is just like so ready to catch fire that it's just too easy to fail with it. So literally it takes one little tiny spark to get a piece of char cloth going, and with that you can ignite a tinder bundle with it from there, and it makes making a fire really easy and enjoyable at the same time. So with that being said, if you're going to be out training, if you're going to be burning, you might as well go ahead and make some char cloth while you're there. So keep a tin handy on you in your packs, and you know, you can never be too redundant with your fire sources. I always like to have multiple of everything. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I always like to have 3, especially when it comes to fire and water purification and things like that. So I always keep a tin with me, and I've always got some char cloth, and I can always make some on the go if I need to. Like I said, you can use a piece of your own clothing if you're out in a survival situation, or you know, I like to just take my old shirts, things that I've grown out of, or you know, they've been worn down so long that I don't wear them anymore. I'll take those shirts and repurpose them as char cloth instead of just, you know, giving them away or throwing them in the trash. So it's a good thing to have. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and also drop me a comment in the box below and let me know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see us do. We've got a new camera set up now, and we're going to be pumping out a lot more videos for you guys. I've got some gear reviews coming up on some knives, some more training. I'm going to be kicking back into the urban survival series pretty soon. We're going to be doing a lot of wilderness survival and primitive skills training coming up in 2016, and we've just got a lot of things on the radar. So with that being said, guys, please check us out on the website at M.A.S.K.tactical.com. You can join us as a member, sign up and get a bunch of good perks, and join a community of like-minded individuals always looking to improve their skill sets. And you can find us on Facebook at Master All Survival Knowledge. We've got an official page, and then we've also got a group with over 6,000 members in it who are always actively engaging and discussing amongst each other to further develop their skill sets and knowledge. So I'll see you guys there. Catch you in the next video. Last step to the urban survival, and then you've got the planning process, zipper pockets, and that is practice and preparation. Now, it goes without saying that you should have an abundance of gear, supplies, medical supplies, inside, food, water, ammo. We've got